Hi, I'm Sam Johnson. I'm the current chairman of the board of Northeast Georgia CASA.
My name is Bill Gake. I was one of the founding board members of what is now the Northeast Georgia CASA.
And I'm Melissa Barrett, and I'm the executive director of Northeast Georgia CASA.
We've been CASAs since about 2008 or 2009, probably 110, 120 kids that we've worked with, and it's been rewarding.
I originally became a CASA as a way to pay it forward for all the blessings that I've received in my life. In my 13 plus years as a CASA, I've advocated for a lot of children with the intent of getting them reunified with their parents.
Being a CASA is important to me because I give a chance to give back to my community.
Being a CASA volunteer is very important to us because we feel like we're a sole help for the children. They become like children to us, our own children.
We advocate for the kids, and that's what we're there for, and we fight for them.
So my name is Nicole Carswell, and I am the juvenile court judge of the Mountain Judicial Circuit. I have been serving in this capacity, part-time and full-time, for a total of 10 years. There was a time in my career in child welfare where we didn't have CASA in the courtroom. And I can say without question that CASA has changed things incredibly in the courtroom.
In a case that I think about that really meant a lot to us was a case where the children were taken into care and a family member out of state wanted custody. We traveled to Louisiana to meet these grandparents and came back and gave a pretty thorough report to the judge, and those kids were released to the grandmother, and it was a win. It was wonderful.
He couldn't do anything for himself, couldn't speak. Only thing he could do was laugh and smile. That child got placed into the foster care system, and finally, after maybe 4 years, 5 years, finally got adopted by someone that genuinely cared.
There were originally 4 children in this one family. A 5th child was born into the family after I got the case. 4 of those children have been adopted. 1 has not. So since the age of 8, and he's now 14, I've been his CASA. That was a big important role for me to play in his life because he doesn't have anyone else in his life that he can trust.
But recently, I've had 2 cases involving termination of parental rights. But in those 2 particular cases, we had very strong CASA advocates and had a recommendation that, hey, wait a second, let's hold off on termination because there may be hope. The CASA's input actually changed the trajectory of that particular case.
Well, looking at the CASA 20 years ago, it was an employee with really no office. We finally found an office in Clarksville in sort of a quarter of a building. And over time, we began to recruit some staff people. Now it's an organization of 6 staff people in a very nice office in Toccoa. It's financially stable, and we have CASAs spread over several hundred miles of Northeast Georgia. It's one of the most respected organizations in the state network, so I think that's something to be both very proud of and that we should talk about as an accomplishment.
One of the things I think about is not only the impact we've had on the nearly 2,000 children we've served, but also those volunteers. We've had over 400 volunteers who have served these kids and brought their common sense advocacy into the courtroom and changed these children's lives, but also made an impact in general in the community.
The need is still there. I think the need has actually gotten larger over the 20 years.
What I'd like to have new CASAs know about being a CASA would be to have patience.
I think one of the most important things is you have to have a heart for it. You have to become a semi-grandmother and grandfather or just a very good friend to the children.
But gain the information that you need. get the support you need, whether it's from a sibling, your husband, but get that support system in place.
The bulk of our board members continue to be from the Mountain Circuit, and the bulk of our financial support continues to come from counties in the Mountain Circuit. So I think expanding those two aspects of our organization further into the Northern Circuit is something that will be important to the long-term success of the organization.
Just continuing to serve more children, and because we still do have a gap, so we really want to serve 100% of the children.
Hopefully, after seeing this, more people will see us in a better light. More people would want to be a volunteer. Try to get involved, because there are still children out there that need CASAs.
I sort of defined it as ordinary people doing an extraordinary thing. CASA advocates for those children. Many years ago, CASA did I think a 5K run as a fundraiser, and the theme was superheroes. And I can't think of a better description of CASA for our children than that of a superhero.
CASA is amazing, awesome, and helpful. I like Mr. Jeff for who he is, his personality. I would describe Jeff as helpful. I couldn't done nothing without him. The best thing he's done for me is being here with me. Mr. Jeff could never be better.
Northeast Georgia CASA's success has been built on a strong foundation of a volunteer board of directors, competent and caring staff, adequate financial resources, and most importantly, our committed CASA volunteers.